Hello students, I am Pritham Paikrai and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Step to Math, where we discuss different concepts related to mathematics. In today's video, we will discuss about sets and their representation. If you guys find this video helpful and interesting, please do not forget to like the video, share it with your friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any doubt related to sets and their representation, please be free to comment me on the comment section. I will surely try to solve your problems. So without wasting any time, let us start our today's topic, that is sets and their representation. Okay, so before I define what is a set, so actually set is this is actually the concept of set. It is actually developed by a German mathematician. His name was George Cantor. Okay, his name was George Cantor. He actually lived from 1845 to 1918. Basically, the contribution of Cantor in mathematics is huge. We will come across some of the contribution of Cantor in our later videos, but let us today we just start what is a set. So basically set, it is nothing but it is a well-defined collection of objects. It is a well-defined collection of objects. Okay, these objects otherwise called as elements or members of the collection. Okay, so that means a collection to be said, that must be well defined. So let us understand this concept by using some examples. Okay, so suppose I am having a collection. Suppose I am saying this is my class 11. I say suppose this is my class 11. Okay, so here I am having some students. So let me write this. So suppose the student, there are student name is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay, suppose there are some students naming A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K and L. Okay, so if I will say, let us say S be a collection, this is a collection of all students of say class 11. Okay, so that means I want to just check, is this collection a set? So before that, let me just see what does this collection says. It collection says it is the collection where I am putting all the students of class 11 in this collection. Suppose I will say, okay, let the collection be some, here it is given as, okay, so fine. So I am saying, does A is the element in this collection? So what is the condition for that? A will be an element in this collection if he or she is a student of class 11. So obviously in class 11, so there is a student named A. That means I can put A in this collection. Okay. Similarly, I can put B in this collection. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay, so all these elements will be inside this collection because all are the name of the students of class 11. Now, suppose I am having another student, let's say some Z. Okay, he is a student of class 12. Okay, now can I say this Z will be inside this collection? So the answer will be obviously no, because their collection contains all the students of class 11. Okay, so that means this property is properly defined. That means it is very clear that those elements will be in this collection who are students of class 11. Okay, or those students will be in this collection who are in class 7. So it is very simple. Now let us consider another collection. So let me say, suppose I am saying collection, let me write here, suppose S1. Okay, I am considering a collection S1. So what does this S1 says? So suppose S1 says, let this be collection of all students of class 11 whose height is above 6 feet. Okay, so I am considering the second collection. It says I am considering all the students of class 11 whose height is greater than or equals to 6 feet. Fine. Okay, so here you can see one thing, that is I am having the collection of students. Okay, they are in class 11, so they are, so say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay, now I will check one by one whether the height of A is greater than or equals to 6 feet. If the answer is yes, then I will be putting this set A in the collection S1. Okay, so I will be putting this, yes, this is a element in S1. Similarly, I will check for B. If I find, suppose B is not having the height greater than or equals to 6 feet, then that cannot be in this collection. Okay, and likewise, suppose I am having, yes, C, suppose C is of height more than 6 feet. Suppose F is one element or one student whose height is more than 6 feet. So no student are there whose height is more than 6 feet in the class 11. Okay, then in that case I can say, so the elements in that collection S1, there will be only A, C and F. Okay, but if I consider some another collection, let us say this is S2. Okay, so here I am saying collection of all the students or all the tall students of, say, class 11. Okay, now just note one thing. So here the property is actually tall students. Okay, that means I will collect all the tall students who are in class 11. So now here you can see, so this tall, this is not actually a properly defined property. That means I cannot say who is tall and who is short. So suppose consider two students. Okay, let me just say I am having two students. Suppose this is A, another one is B. Okay, now suppose his height is 6 feet, his height is 5.5 feet. Okay, also I'll consider another student. Yes, so his name is, suppose C. Okay, so suppose his height is 5.3 feet. Clear? So suppose his height is 5.3 feet. Now if I consider these three elements, then you can see in this collection 6 feet, the student A, he is actually taller among these three. Okay, that means if I will say yes, so I will put A in this collection. Now A is not there. Okay, A is not there because it comes to this collection. Now among B and C, you can see B is taller. Okay, so that means again I will say, okay, so B will be also in this collection. Now here you can see when B is actually not in this collection, so here I can say, okay, I am having only one student, so obviously he is not shorter than anyone, so he is taller. That means I will be considering C in this collection. But when I will be considering these three elements, so here I am saying, okay, A is more taller, B is shorter than A, and it is taller than C. So that means what? That means I cannot define the property of tallness in a proper way. Okay, so that is why I am saying this collection cannot be a set, because it is not well defined. The property is not well defined. To understand this concept little bit more clearly, so let us another collection, say S3. Suppose I am saying this is the collection of all the students whose weight is greater than or equals to 60 kg. Okay, so here I am saying I am considering all the students. It is obviously of class 11 because we are considering of class 11. Okay, student of 11, so whose weight is greater than or equals to 60 kg. So now here you can see I am having the students in class 11, A, B, C, D, E, F, likewise. So, if I can say, yes, so does A's weight is 60 kg? If his weight is 60 kg, then I will put this in this collection. If not 60 kg, then I will not put this student A in this collection. Suppose I will be saying no, A's weight is suppose 55 kg. That means it cannot be in this collection. Now suppose B's weight is 60 kg. Okay, that means he can be in this collection. Okay, B. Suppose I am having some conditions. Okay, suppose C is also his weight is more than 60 kg. Likewise, F's weight is 60 kg. G's weight is 60 kg. Suppose that. Okay. So now, if you can see here, the property is that those student whose weight is greater than or equals to 60 kg, that can be in this collection. But in the same case, if I'll say, suppose I am having, let me say, yes, suppose I am having another collection, suppose S4, okay, is it S3, previous one? Yes, so this is S4. So suppose I am having this collection, I am saying collection of all fatty students, okay, of class 11. Fine, I am saying consider all the collection of fatty students of class 11. So here you can notice one thing, the property fatty, it is not actually properly defined. That means I cannot say who is fatty and who is not fatty. Okay, if I consider suppose A, B, C, I can say okay, so A is fattier than B, that is fattier than C. Okay, so but if I consider another set, suppose D, A, C. So here A may not be fattier, okay, among these three. So that means what? That means I am saying this property of fattiness, this is actually not properly defined. So this collection I cannot say this is my set. Okay, I hope you understand the concept of set and what is the definition saying. Okay, so it is saying actually, if the property of that group or that collection is properly defined, then I can say that collection is a set. Okay, so here we have to just remember some things. So what are those things? So let me just clear this. Yes, so now here there are some points to remember. Okay, some points to remember. So what are those? So usually what we do, usually sets are represented in capital letters. Okay, so capital letter, usually the sets are actually represented in the form of capital letter, but there is no hard and fast rule that sets will always represented in capital letters, but usually we take these are my capital letters. And second one, the elements of the set are usually represented by small letters. Okay, so they are represented by small letters. Again, same thing, there is no hard and fast rule that elements will be always written in the form of small letters. Okay, so but we usually write elements in the form of small letters. Okay, now here another thing. So if I say A is an element of the set A, then we say A belongs to A, and we write this as A belongs to A. Okay, so similarly, if I will be saying, suppose I am saying now, if B if B is not an element of a set, suppose B, okay, then we say B does not belongs to the set B, okay, and we write this like B not belongs to B, okay. So these are some notations we have to just remember to go further to know what are sets, okay. So now when I just I have actually defined what is actually set, okay, how they looks like. So when I will be just, okay, let me just give one example. Say suppose I am having a set A, okay, here I am having some elements 1 2 3 4 5, okay. Now here suppose I am saying this is a collection of numbers that are 1 2 3 4 5, okay. So that means what? That means I am saying, okay, so if the element is in this collection, then I will say yes, the element is in A, okay. That means I can say 1 belongs to A, 2 belongs to A, but here you can see 6 does not belongs to A, okay. So when I will be saying A belongs to A, that means A is an element of A. Similarly, if 6 does not belongs to A, that means 6 is not an element of A. It is very clear, okay. So now let us consider how sets are represented, okay. Let us consider how sets are represented. Basically they are represented in two ways. So one is called the roster form, and the second one you can see it is called the set builder form, okay. So first of all we will discuss what are roster forms, okay. So basically roster form holds some properties which when I will be writing a set in the roster form, the property must be holding, okay. So what is actually, how I can say the form is a roster form or that is a tabular form, okay. So first condition, all the elements of a set are listed, okay. That means all the elements are listed. Second thing, elements are being separated, yes, just wait a second, is being separated by commas and are enclosed by braces, okay. What is that? That is this curly braces, fine. So that means let us consider this by taking an example that I have actually previously told. Suppose I am having a set 1 2 3 4 5, okay. So here you can notice one thing, that the elements, that is 1 2 3 4 5, these are actually separated by commas, and all the elements they are enclosed by these curly braces, okay. So here you can notice one thing. So what does this roster form says? It says this thing, okay. So here that means all the elements are listed here. Now I can say A is in the roster form, okay. The set A is in roster form, or that I can say it is in tabular form, okay. So something I have to mark it here. So what is that? So let me just write here. So actually what happens, I will be saying order of the elements of A is immaterial, okay, is immaterial. That means what I am saying is, just remember one thing. Suppose I am having another set that is 5 4 3 2 1. Suppose this is my another set, okay. So here this is also in the roster form. Also all elements are actually separated. You can see all the elements are separated by commas and they are enclosed in curly braces, Okay, so when I am saying order of the element of A is immaterial, that means if I write the element in first place or it in the last place or in any place in that set, so that does not hamper my collection. Okay, that does not hampers my collection. So here you can see when I will be considering A and B, so in this case actually 1 is the first element, but in case B 1 is the last element. Similarly 2 is second element in set A, but it is the second from the last in B. Okay, so likewise you can see, but all the elements of A are in B and all the elements of B are in A. So here I can easily say, so these two sets, they are not actually different, they are equal. Okay, so that means the order of the elements of A is immaterial, means there is no hard and fast rule that the elements will be placed in a particular order. Okay, so this is the first thing of the what the roster form says. Second thing is that, so all the elements are taken as distinct. All the elements are distinct. Okay, now what is this thing? So when I am saying it is distinct, that means suppose in this case I am having another element. Suppose say I can just expand this set as 5. Okay, just let me write this. Fine. Yes. Okay, suppose I am having this collection. What is that collection? 5, 7, 3, 4, 4, 5. Suppose this is the collection. Okay, suppose this is the collection. So here you can see 4 is coming thrice in this collection. Okay, similarly you can see 3 is coming twice in this collection. 5 is also coming twice in this collection. Then what will I do is that actually I will just consider only one element from the repetition. Okay, that means how can I write this? So just write this in the proper way. So let me say, okay, yes, okay, what does that means? So what I say is that I can write this A as, first of all I will consider the first element. So here I am saying it is 1. Okay, I will check whether 1 is present in the set. So no, only once it is present. Okay, now consider the element 2. So I will write here. Then I will see whether 2 is present in this set or not. Then again I will consider 3 and I will check whether they are present. Oh, another 3 is present in this collection or not. So here you can see this 3 is present. That means I will not consider it second times. So when I will be considering this once, that is well enough. Okay, so similarly then I will go to the next one, that is the element 4. So here you can see 4 is thrice, so I will eliminate other 2. Next I will go to 5. Here you can see it is twice, so I will eliminate the other one. So then I will come to 7. Okay, that means I can write this collection or this A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, now if I will take another example, say suppose I am having say S, this is 1, 1, 1 and so on. Okay, it means that set contains only one element, that is 1 only. Okay, but it is repeated infinite times. So if I write S is equals to 1 and the two sets are actually same. Here you can question me, sir, in set first one you can see there are infinite number of elements, but in the second one there is only one element. Okay, but you can notice one thing, that in the first set actually one element is repeated many times, and in case of set I just told you that the elements are taken as distinct. Okay, that means if there is the repetition, I will just not consider those repetitions. Okay, so that means this set I can write as only the collection of one element, that is 1, but which is repeated many times. Okay, so I don't have any problem in that. Now I hope you guys know what are the meaning of roster form of a set. Okay, so what is roster form? So the set is said to be roster form. So if the two condition holds, the first one, all the element of the sets are listed, and the second one, elements are being separated by commas and they are being enclosed in braces, and more importantly they must be set. Okay, when they will be set, then I can say yes, now this is my this is in the roster form. Okay, now once we just know what is the roster form, next let us come to what is the set builder form of a set. Okay, so what is a set builder form of a set? So let us see. So actually here what happens, all the elements, okay, all the elements of a set possesses a single common property, okay, which is not possessed by any other element outside the set. Okay, so set builder form means actually that I will be writing that in by using the concept of sentence. Okay, and what happens there, actually that in that case, that all the elements must possess a single common property. Okay, so let us understand this by taking one example. Suppose I will be saying, suppose I am considering S, this is a collection. So here I can say, just wait for a second. Yes, so here you can see, so I am having the collection. Suppose I will be saying collection of all the prime numbers. Okay, all the prime numbers. So here what you say, you can see one thing, that this collection is having only one property, that is the numbers are prime numbers. Okay, that means what can I say? So I can say this S contains, does it contains 2? The answer is yes, because 2 is a prime number. Does contains 3? The answer is yes. Does contains 5? The answer is yes, and so on. Okay, but does this collection contains 4? So the answer will be obviously no, because I can say, because 4 is not a prime number, so it cannot be in this set. Okay, so again, when I will be saying, does this contain 7? So the answer will be yes, 7 must be inside this collection, because this collection says that this collection is a prime number. Okay, so that means this is, you can see, this is in roster form. Okay, this is in roster form. So, and this is the representation of roster form in the set builder form. Okay, this is the representation of a roster form of a set in the form of a set builder form. Okay, so similarly, when I will be saying okay, so let us consider another example to understand the concept more easily. So suppose I am having V. Okay, so here I am saying, suppose V is A, E, I, O, U. Okay, suppose I am having a collection of element in a set such that A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so these are my English alphabets. So what property do you notice in this collection? So in this collection you can see, these are nothing but these are the vowels of the English alphabet. So when I write this in the form of set builder form, so I will be saying, so collection of all the vowels in the English alphabet. Okay, so that's fine. So that means I can write this as this in the form of set builder form like this. So now you can say, sir, actually in the little bit earlier you told us if S is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then how can I write this in the form of a set builder form? So let us see this concept. So when I will be saying suppose S, so this I can write this as I am having all the X such that X belongs to my X, and X is nothing but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or this also I can say this is as X such that X must belongs to this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so all the things are same. Fine. So here also I can say S is equals to, or so S not equals to actually. So this is the collection. So I can say this collection of first 5 natural numbers. Okay, so this is I am saying this is collection of first 5 natural numbers. So what are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these are my so I can represent this in the set builder form as this one. Okay, also I can write this in this form. All these are equal. Okay, all these are actually equivalent. Fine. So now similarly I can reverse the process. That means if I am having a collection, means I am having a set in the set builder form, so I can represent that in the form of a roster form. Okay, so when I will be saying suppose I am having n, so it is the collection of all natural numbers. Okay, all natural numbers. So obviously this is a set because it is having a property, that is it is a natural number, and this natural number means the concept is actually well defined. Okay, so now when I will be writing this in the form of a roster form, so here I can say what I am doing is roster form, that means all the elements must be listed, and the second one the elements must be separated by commas and must be enclosed in braces. So here first element, that is 1, then separated by comma 2, then likewise 3, 4 and so on. Okay, so that means this collection is nothing but this is the collection of natural numbers. So this is the set builder form of set of natural numbers, and this is the roster form of the set of natural numbers. Okay, so you can also just comment me on the comment section some examples related to what we have read in today's class. Okay, so just let me write this. Okay, so it is a exercise for you. Exercise. So these you can comment me on the comment section. So first one, which of the followings are sets? So first one, the collection of all months of a year, and the second one, collection of all most talented writers in India. Okay, so these are two questions. You have to say, justify which one is a set and which one is not a set. So the second part, so convert the following in set builder form. Okay, so first one, when I will say, suppose this is S, I am saying 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. And the second is, say it is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square and so on. So similarly, convert the following in roster form. So what is that? So first one, x such that x is an odd number. Okay, it is an odd number. Then second one, say suppose x such that x square plus 2x plus 1 is equals to 0. Okay, so you can solve these two problems. These are some sort set of problems, and you can comment me on the comment section. Again, if you guys have any doubt, you can ask me on the comment section. So for today, this is all about our set and their representations. In the next class, we'll discuss about different type of sets. Okay, so thank you guys.